Welcome to the Killer Innovation Show, the longest continuously produced podcast in history. Each week, Phil McKinney brings you the insights and strategies to amplify your creativity and innovation skills. Here's your host, Phil McKinney.
Welcome to this week's Killer Innovation Show. I don't know about you, but when I have a plan and something random happens, it drives me bonkers. It drives my wife crazy. I don't react well to random events, random changes. And when you have 5 grandkids like we do, randomness is something you just have to learn how to embrace. Recently, we had some random events happen while we were on our holiday vacation with the kids, with the grandkids specifically. And it actually turned out to be an inspiration for some ideas that I was working on. Things that I'd kind of gotten stuck, couldn't break through. And so I used those random events as a way to kind of unlock the ability to see maybe a spark, an inspiration, an idea to help solve a problem that I was working on. So today's show, we're going to talk about random events and how to be an innovator by using random events as inspiration. So before we jump into this week's episode, got that favor to ask, subscribe so you keep up to date on all the latest episodes as they come out. Follow us on social media so therefore you can keep up with the conversation that's happening throughout the week between the shows, but also share it. Share it with others, let others know. Now, you can get this show over at killerinnovations.com, or you can get all of our content over at theinnovators.network. Check it out. Not only my show, but Kim McNicholas. We're adding contributors all the time, all around innovation. So check that out. And without any further ado, let's jump in to this week's random event. Most people would consider random events to be a nuisance. Something that gets in the way of their productivity and disrupts their planned lives. However, if you take a closer look, you'll see that random events can be a source of inspiration and innovation. For example, consider the story of how Facebook was created. According to legend, Facebook was born out of random events when Mark Zuckerberg, working on a project for his fraternity, he needed to find a way to get online access to all of its members. Another famous example is the story of Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak. While working at Hewlett-Packard in the 1970s, Wozniak came up with the idea of what eventually became the Apple computer after he attended a random seminar. So what are these random events so inspiring? Part of it has to do with the fact that they are unexpected. They catch us off guard. They force us to come up with new solutions. They also provide us with fresh perspective, allowing us to see old problems in new light. Finally, random events can help us break out of our comfort zone, sparking creativity and innovation in ways that we just never thought were possible. Now, are random events really random? This is a question that has puzzled philosophers, scientists, and mathematicians for centuries. Some people believe that everything in the universe is random, while others believe that there is a hidden order behind random events. Interestingly, recent research has shown that random events may not be as random as we think. In a study published in the journal Nature, scientists found random events follow certain patterns and are not completely random after all. Now, this discovery is important because it also opens up new possibilities for using what we think of as random events to inspire creativity and innovation. How? There's still something that scientists are trying to figure out. The bottom line is that random events are still a mystery. No one knows for sure what causes them or what they mean for innovation. However, they remain an important source of inspiration and creativity, and scientists will continue to explore their mysteries in the hopes of unlocking their secrets. Now, random events can be a great source of innovation, but it's important to be aware of them and understand their potential. Here are some tips on how to do that. Number one, be open to new ideas. When it comes to random events, you never know what might happen. That's why it's so important to be open to new ideas and possibilities. If you're always closed off to new experiences, you'll miss out on a lot of opportunities. Being open to new ideas means being open to change. It can be scary at first, but embracing change can lead to amazing things. When you're open to new ideas, you're also more open to new experiences, and that can only lead to good things. So don't be afraid to try something new. Open your mind and see what happens. You might be surprised at what you'll find. Number two, stay curious. Curiosity is the lifeblood of creativity and innovation. By staying curious, we keep our minds open to new possibilities and allow for random events to lead us in new insights, new perspectives. Staying curious also breeds a sense of exploration and excitement, which are essential for keeping our creative juices flowing. So, if you want to be more creative, stay curious. 3, pay attention to your surroundings. When you pay attention to your surroundings, we open ourselves up to random events and the possibilities they present. By being aware of the people and the environment around us, we can create opportunities for new experiences and friendships. In addition, paying attention to our surroundings allows us to be more present in the moment and appreciate all that is happening around us. Number 4, be patient. Being patient is key when waiting for random events to happen. Sometimes they happen right away, but other times they take time to develop. You never know when the perfect opportunity will come along, so it's important to be patient and wait for the right moment. When inspiration comes randomly, it's often the most powerful and meaningful. So don't be discouraged if things don't happen right away. Just keep waiting and be patient for that next great spark of inspiration. And number 5 goes without saying, be creative. Random events can offer limitless opportunities for creativity and inspiration if you're willing to look for them. When something random happens, it's often a sign that something new is about to happen as well. Be open to the possibilities. See where the random event takes you. Don't be afraid to experiment or try something new. That's where the real magic of random events can be found. Let your creativity run wild and see what amazing things you can come up with. The sky's the limit. Now, warning, random events are not signs. Some people might see random events as signs or omens. Some of us use random events as confirmation of an idea or innovation they are working on. This confirmation bias is a tendency to only believe information that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or desires. This can be dangerous when it comes to random events and innovation, as it may tempt us to ignore or misinterpret random events that don't conform to our preconceived notions. This can lead to faulty ideas, bad solutions that can ultimately lead us down blind alleys. It's important to be aware of confirmation bias and its dangers, and to always be open to new information, even if it contradicts our existing beliefs. Now, for example, the internet was born out of randomness. People don't realize this. In the early 1990s, Silicon Valley was in the midst of a major random event. That is the rise of the internet. This random event led to the development of countless new products and services, including some of the most well-known and successful companies of all times. The internet was born out of random chance, a series of random events that happened to coincide at just the right moment. These random events included the invention of the World Wide Web, the spread of personal computers, and the growth of digital networks. All of these random events came together at just the right time to create something truly special, a new way for people to connect and share information. The internet has since gone on to change the world, and there's no telling what else might bring us into the future. Now, I have a saying, kind of ripped off from a movie. Random events are like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. When it comes to random events, you never quite know what's going to happen. They can be exciting and full of surprises, or they can be unpredictable and frustrating. But that's part of the fun. Random events are always an adventure. So go ahead, take the plunge. Life is more interesting when you experience random events. Next time you encounter a random event, don't be annoyed. Embrace it. See it as an opportunity to think outside the box and come up with something totally new and innovative. Who knows? Your next big idea might just come from a random event. So, what random event occurred recently that you can go back and look at and reflect? And what inspiration can you take from it? Now, I'll tell you that with this insight that I gained on this most recent vacation with the grandkids and all the random events that happened as a result of having 5 grandkids, 10 and under, I don't look at random events the same way anymore. I look for them as opportunities. What can I take away from them? What can I learn? What can I apply to an idea or innovation that I'm currently working on? My hope is that today's show opens up your eyes and gives you that insight onto the randomness that's in your own life. Yes, particularly for those of us, if you're like me as an engineer and you like to plan and have a schedule and be organized, random events can be like fingers on a chalkboard. But don't let it annoy you. Use them as opportunities. Use those random events to open yourself up to things that you would never have seen or ever had considered had that event not happened. So hopefully this week you can keep your eyes open for random events and take advantage of them. Again, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join us here at the show. We greatly appreciate your commitment to being here. And hopefully you're finding this content beneficial to you and helpful as you progress your career in the space of innovation and creativity. Love to hear your feedback. You can always drop me a note at phil@killerinnovations.com, or you can also communicate with us via social media on LinkedIn. If we are not connected on LinkedIn, connect. Go over to LinkedIn, send me an invite. However, let me know that you are a follower, that you're a listener of the show, because I literally get hundreds of requests a day for connections on LinkedIn, of which 99% of them I ignore. But if you let me know that you're a listener of the show, I'll accept your connection request. So check that out. Let's connect. And that also gives us a platform that we can communicate. And with that, thanks again for your time. Go out there. Take that idea that's noodling around in your head, work on it, because your innovation could be a solution to a major problem, and you could change the world. Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Podcasting nonstop since 2005, this has been the Killer Innovation Show on the Innovators Network.